It's Final Friday.
Morgan, I asked you for someone who's an expert in a very specific niche that you love, and you said Alexis Nicole, who's on Instagram at Black Forager. Alexis describes herself as a foraging and enviro-sci enthusiast and a vegan food concoctor. So what specifically do you love about her Instagram account?
So I found her Instagram account at sort of like the height of TikTok's obsession with cottagecore, which is this aesthetic of like an idealized version of sort of a pastoral lifestyle. It was really huge in like sapphic communities, and it's what it sounds like cottagecore is literally just fantasizing about living in some sort of forest cottage.
Not to be confused with goblin core, which you've also written about.
Yes, cottagecore is a feral younger cousin, goblin core. But yeah, I remember at, again, beginning of the pandemic, just being very stressed and depressed and not really doing a great job of taking care of my own mental health and following a whole bunch of these accounts that I was like, this is a really nice lifestyle. You know, like this is such a delightful escape from what's going on right now. So her whole thing is foraging, which is a very cottagecore thing to do. And she does all these really cool educational videos on, you know, like, hey, here's a mushroom that you can eat. Here's a mushroom that looks like it that you definitely should not eat. Here are like some sprouts that would be great salad toppings. And I also really like that, you know, she doesn't, like a lot of her videos, like she doesn't necessarily venture deep into some wilderness to forage. She does it in like, you know, in cities, in the suburbs. And I've never tried foraging, to be honest. I watch all of her videos. I'm obsessed, but I personally am terrified of foraging.
Really? Why?
Just knowing my luck and knowing my own, like, I guess, arrogance, I would absolutely pick up a leaf and be like, I'm going to make a salad out of these leaves. And then, I don't know, poison myself somehow, which is unrealistic. She has a lot of amazing videos on like how to avoid doing that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm just convinced that I would absolutely poison myself or, you know, give myself some weird like throat rash. I don't know.
Well, I saw one of the videos that she made. It was about like twin plants that grow next to each other. And she's like, okay, this one is poisonous. This one's delicious. But then she explains like, here's how to tell them apart. Here's the poisonous one. It produces this like milky substance. If you squeeze it, this one, it doesn't produce anything. So go ahead and, you know, throw it into a salad or whatever. And, you know, so I do appreciate the fact that she is, for people like me who also have never dared to try foraging, you know, she is trying to provide some helpful guidance to encourage people to get out there and do it once we get over ourselves a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think it's so cool. I think it's also fascinating, like, to see plants in their natural habitat. Like, I think a pretty avid gardener. I've got, you know, like a fig tree growing in my LA balcony, and that's my pride and joy. I've got houseplants all over the place, and got a little herb garden that I love, but it's very self-contained and it's very, you know, I guess
controlled. Yeah.
Controlled. Yeah, exactly. Versus, and it's like, if, you know, I can look at my herb garden and point out herbs and be like, oh, this stem is from this herb, and like that can go into these foods. But if I were out in the wild, I would never be able to pick that out myself, you know, like if it's not in my little balcony garden box, I have no idea. So I just like that, you know, she kind of forces me out of my little city mindset and into like there's a garden outside of like the Home Depot garden section, you know.
When she also brings this really like fun energy to the videos, which is not what I was expecting when I saw that she was a forager. You know, she's really, again, really funny, really like does a lot of fun stuff where she's like bringing her phone in closer to her face and then pulling it back out to have some dynamic zooming going on. I think it's like, it's really impressive the fact that she's able to communicate all of this while basically doing like live video editing, and she's making it into a celebration of nature.
Yeah.
Which, you know, it's not just like, here's this outdated thing people used to do for sustenance, but like, here's something that you can tell that she genuinely loves doing this, which is so nice to see.
Yeah, like there's just so much joy in all of her videos, which, you know, are mostly educational. It really reminds me almost of, you know, those like Discovery Kids channels. Like Discovery Kids shows, or like, you know, like the Crocodile Hunter show that I grew up on, you know, like there's just so much joy in educating about nature. And I love that energy.
I think on balance, foraging is still safer than wrestling crocodiles. So
yeah, I think I would realistically do one, maybe like work myself up to doing one over the other. But I'm learning a lot either way.
Exactly.